When will we get our first snus marcher?
We will see.
You are one of the most important members of parliament in Brussels when it comes to the question of what we in Sweden call snus, nicotine pouches. You're on the health committee, and my first question to you would be, what is going on with the snus, with the nicotine pouches in Europe?
I think there is important for us from Sweden to teach other Europeans why it is important for us to have the Swedish snus and the nicotine pouches, because we can see that it comes from a long tradition, a Swedish tradition of snus, and we can also see that we have a main goal that we want to move away from tobacco and smoking. So I think that is also a part of the debate that also had to be on the table when we are discussing this. And at the moment we are negotiating cardiovascular diseases, for example, and I think that this is a very good input to show also the figures from Sweden, that we can see that we have already moved away from smoking and that we are the country in Europe that have the less smokers than compared to other member states.
Of cigarette smokers. Yeah. Recently, France moved ahead on its own and chose to ban all the nicotine pouches. What do you think of that?
I think it's crazy, to be honest, because what they have done is to classify this as narcotics, and we know that it is not. And just recently you could buy snus in France, and from one day to another it's abolished and forbidden, and you can even go to jail if you carry and use this.
And quite heavy sentences too. You can go to prison for several years from what I hear. So my question then would be, when will we get our first snus marcher?
We will see, but I mean, for us who comes from Sweden, the Swedish delegation from all different parties, I would say, do use snus, and of course we did. We have to decide whether we want to go to Strasbourg to do our work, as we are in France once a month with the parliament, whether we would bring snus or not.
There are actually a lot of Swedes who are in the European Parliament who use nicotine pouches, who are quite upset now because you need to go from Brussels to Strasbourg every 3 weeks, don't you? Which means that, in effect, they cannot bring their nicotine pouches with them. One person that has spoken out quite vehemently against this is Johan Danielsson, who thinks this is a complete outrage. What is your take?
I do agree with Johan that it is crazy that we have to go to Strasbourg in order to vote and to debate once a month, and then we cannot bring what we use on a daily basis in terms of snus. So I think it's crazy, and I think that if we have to do our work, we have to go to our job and do what we are elected to do. So I think it's a crazy debate. And we can see that France is the only country so far, and I hope that it stops by that, and that we also can make them reasonable and see what we can do to make them understand that this is not narcotics.
So picking up on something you said, I think it's quite clear that snus or nicotine pouches, it's not drugs, is it? Why has it become viewed as such in France?
No, they decided when they did the legislation to classify it as narcotics and drugs, and we can see that it's not. And I can see the summer is coming, Swedes are going to France on vacation, we are going there for work. So I think this decision is really something that we have to argue and to show them that this is completely different. And I think also that it affects a lot of Swedes.
Most of the Swedish parties, they're all in agreement on this. And would this be one of the few issues where you would actually be getting moderates and social democrats on the same side for the snus or the nicotine pouches?
I think when it comes to what is important for Sweden, that we can have a political agreement over party groups, and with the Social Democratic Party, for example, the Swedish Democrats, that we can see that when it's something that is Swedish, a Swedish tradition that is threatened, we do come together and stand up for what is the Swedish values and what is important. So I think that is a good thing that we can agree upon this, because I think it also needs unification and that we work together in this case.
On a more serious note, can you comment on the legal situation for the regulation of nicotine pouches in Europe in other countries?
It is under discussion, and of course we are a bit afraid what France have done, that other member states would follow. And for a while we were able to buy nicotine pouches in Belgium, but they also banned the product. And so it is a big discussion, and we also raised the issue with the commissioner responsible for the tobacco and nicotines regulations. So it is an ongoing discussion, and I would say also here that it's important that we have a lot of voices from the Swedish delegation to make ourselves heard and to start the debate, and also to show the figures and numbers that we have in Sweden when we want to move away from tobacco smoking.
According to the information I have, our Minister of Trade, Benjamin Dousa, has used the most powerful method possible for a politician of his stature. He's issued an official statement to France on the snus. Do you have a comment on that?
I think we have to do everything that is possible in order to reach out to France and to show what is wrong with their decision and their legislation. So I think that Benjamin Dousa has been a good voice from the Swedish government to defend the Swedish snus, and that he has been also a very good force in the discussions and in the debates. So I think that he can do what he can, we can do what we can from the parliament side as well.
Jessica Pölfjard, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.